Hi everyone. Welcome back to If My Heart Had Wings, Ageha's Route, Episode 3. So, Ageha's still trying to find ways to not allow the unfavorite teacher, Tobio Sensei, finding out that the soaring club is running without his consent. And she's doing so by having everyone not walk together. But now she has a better plan, so to set up shop somewhere on campus. And she's able to get the touring club, which is similar to the soaring club in some ways, to lend their club room to conduct allowed okay activities for soaring clubs. So use a computer, go online, look at the gliders and the morning glory and the such, whereas the real activities will continue at the secret base, aka the dock or hangar. But in order for the touring club to accept the offer, they want these girls to join them. And the touring club is more like a mechanic shop, so fixing engines, cars, motorcycles, and such. And it's obviously a very lucrative business to do. But because it's mostly male, they would like to have some female students join. And it looks like Ageha wants Kotori, Asa, and Yoru to accept the offer. And for some reason, Ageha's trying to get them to smile for the camera's sake. So I don't know how that plays in. But anyways, I'm sure Kotori, Asa, and Yoru know what it is, and they're not happy with it. So let's see how Ageha deals with the situation. So first,
ただ、物質として間借りするにあたって条件を出されて。
So what prerequisites are you talking about? So she better be careful what she says or everyone's out. So if it sounds very fishy and ridiculous, we're not going to accept the requirements and we're not going to go with this plan.
毎日ちょっとだけでもいいんで、私たちが顔を出すこと。
So how about at least we go in there once in a while and at least check on what they're doing on their side. So the engines, the motor oil, the fluids, the...
部員の名前を覚えて挨拶すること。
Okay, so at least learn each other, so greet each other.
それだけ？それぐらいなら。
So I think that's easy to fulfill.
まあ、そんなに難しいことでもないですね。よかった！
So Ageha made it sound like a big deal, but it wasn't that bad. It's like, at least just know each other.
嫌だって言われたら、私一人でもやるしかないかなって覚悟してたのよ。もちろん、絶対に向こうから手を触れない。室内に女の子一人という状態にはしない。そういう条件飲ませてるけどね。
And the usual, well, be careful.
当たり前よ！
Okay, I know.
もっとも、あちらはそれでもいいって。こちらの条件ほとんど丸飲みだったけどさ。意外ですね。
Oh, really? And I can't understand why. I was in an all-boys school before this one. And it's just a club full of guys wanting a little bit of female attention when we can't get it.
まあ、そういうわけで。部長、お願いね。
So, good luck. Help us, club leader Kotori.
はい。
Okay?
これから交渉成立ってことで、今後よろしくっていう挨拶と、部長同士の握手。今、なんて？いや、だから、挨拶と部長同士の握手。挨拶と、何？
Okay, so how are we going to greet these people? So, greeting them is step one, but what's the details?
いや
Now, it was Ageha giving Kotori the condescending state or stare. And then you would expect...
部長同士の握手。
So, just a handshake?
はい。
Everyone looked at the new club leader, Kotori. So, what's Kotori's answer to this? Kotori's one of those types with a ineffable beauty. And the head of the touring club is older than me, but I know her figure better than he does. And the word untidy would probably be the best way to describe a body like that. Kotori naturally would know that. Her skin is white and pure, as though there were no blood in her body.
悪い人じゃないよ。熱心だし、私たちの活動も応援してくれてるし。
Well, you know, you're not that bad. You're good.
なら、あなたがやりなさいよ。
Well, how about you do it then? You try to change.
部長同士が礼儀というものだって言われたらどうしようもないじゃんか。私でいいならやってるよ。
So, well, Ageha, you're the club director, so why don't you do all the negotiations, the handshake, the greeting?
じゃあ、今からあなたが部長よ。私は会長でいいわ。
So, I'll pass on that role to you, so don't give me all that unnecessary burden.
あんたの夢ってその程度のものだったの？
Hold on. So, aren't all of you forgetting someone here? It was obvious that I was the right person for the job. So, how about I go greet them and introduce all you girls to them? Well, let me make it clear. So, from this day, I am your new club leader. How about that?
あのさ、わかってる？
But then again, didn't we decide that it was me, Kotori? So, forgetting what?
この1年、ソアリング部のトップだって言いまくってたのが誰か。誰がうちの部長か知らない人、この学校にいないのよ。
Okay. Wait, but that person is a organization leader, not a club leader. So I think they're talking about Amane.
逆の立場だったら、それで納得する？そもそも小鳥って知名度めちゃくちゃ高いのよ。だからこそ向こうも OK してくれたんだから。
But then again, Kotori's kind of like the leader, and she's kind of like the mascot for the soaring club, so... Well, it's no use to argue that.
ダメ。そういうことで、小鳥、お願いね。
So, Kotori, we're counting on you. Good luck.
いい笑顔で言うな。
Hey, don't be happy about it. Well, we're depending on you, Kotori, so don't let us down. We're trying to pass through the passage of clouds, don't forget. I grip the back handles of the wheelchair. Okay, so I'll push you into the pit, and you go say hi to them.
スマイル、スマイル。小鳥先輩、スマイルです。
So be happy, smile!
営業スマイルを得得しておくことは、人生において必ず役に立ちます。裏切り者！
And all of us combined our spirit and headed to the room together. And at that point, we all come to a decision. So the secret handshakes shared among club leaders was pretty slick. And that's because Kotori's partner was more nervous than she was and didn't lack any confidence before he even touched her hand. And it didn't help that Kotori made jeering comments at her partner's body, odor, and torn clothing.
似合うものを使ってるのも汚れるのもわかるわ。でもそれをそのままにするのがダメなのよ。
Well, I hope the negotiation goes well because Kotori's already thrown all these negative comments at the people.
綺麗にしようとする意志、常に正当する心がけ、それがないからあんたたちは好かれないのよ。
So the touring club would always be called the wheelchair beauties and such. I don't know how they could put up with this. And after that, Kotori, with the wrath of a merciless dictator, enter the touring club and change their image. And good thing that everything panned out the way it should, we would say. So did they agree to renting part of their room out? And even today, Ageha didn't come to the secret base. We're trying our best to keep everything going without her.
そろそろ戻る?
So, is it time to go back? Well, I didn't realize what time it is. So we have a lot to take care of when we get back to the dorms too. So we should get back and start on making dinner. So it doesn't seem like Ageha's coming today anyways.
そうみたいね。じゃあ帰りましょうか。
So let's just leave then. So you act like you know what's going on there. So this morning, it was the same thing. If you got something to say, just come out and say it alright. So don't hide everything.
来ないんでしょ、アゲハ。
But still, Ageha's not coming. Well, it darn well doesn't seem like it. So I wonder what's up with that.
葵くんが言うならそうなんでしょ。じゃあみんな引き上げよう。
So let's go.
はーい。わかりました。お疲れ様。
Wait, not again. So it looks like Ageha sent Hotaru again to be the decoy.
はい。あーちゃんから私の代わりに葵の遊び相手してあげてと。
Yeah, thanks.
今度私もお菓子食べながら漫画読むのしに行くから。
Well, Ageha, better be cautious while your sister's watching you.
ホタルちゃん、出迎えお疲れ様。
But anyways, thanks for coming.
こんばんは。お姉さんのことなら気にしないで。ほとんど間違ってないから。
Then maybe you should listen to her advice sometime, club leader. Kotori? So, do you lock the door? Alright then, so let's just go.
はい。なかなか進みませんね。アゲハ先輩が来てくれないと。
You're right. So we still need work. Okay, so we need to still work on the fuselage and handle foreign negotiations. And Ageha's really the only person who can do that.
でも、もう少し何やってるのか教えてくれてもいいと思うのよね。
So what is she doing? Right, so she needs to keep up in the loop if she expects us to help out.
そうね。
So Kotori looked at her right hand with a peculiar expression on her face.
明日は飛行訓練行くんでしょ？
So it's supposed to be the last flight before summer break, right? So I just want to hurry up and fly in our new model plane instead of the old piece of junk we've been training.
そうね。
And that's why we need Ageha. So Ageha can help us finish this glider. So what the heck is she doing? Okay, so it's the next day, and I wonder if he can meet Ageha. So why don't we just go instead of hanging around here? So we won't have to work like slaves at the dorm since it's a holiday. Okay, I'm heading out. Hello? I took my phone out of my pocket and took a look at it. So who's calling, or any messages? And I sent Ageha messages, but it never got a response. Well, it's already late, so she's probably sleeping. And even so, it'd be nice to get a reply before she went to bed. Well, I'm sure at that point she probably didn't even see her phone at all. And I'm not sure if the phone does show like the message has been read. Well, some do. So I headed over to the train station and headed straight to the runway. So what's going on over here? So this is the training I put all of my precious time and money into. I can't even put 1 second to waste. And even if it seems pointless, I at least have to test how I perform, remember my mistakes, and learn to focus on matters. Fly, 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 my goal is to get in the air as much as I can. And I'm nowhere near the level I want to be, so I need to study more. And about the air, about airflow, piloting, I need to learn experience, and I need to, in me, like I need air in my lungs. So basically have it all ingrained in his body. So the instructor's kind enough to praise my efforts, but efforts get no one anywhere. In last year's run with that violent undercurrent, I need to beat with winds like that as though it's second nature. So he almost got Amane to the morning glory clouds, except for that downdraft that nearly crashed or destroyed the glider. It's like, well, I need to know how to handle those in case it happens again. So I spent several hours at the runway and returned back to the dorm. So I wondered if the other people were there to help him do some practice training. Or maybe he was just walking around trying to see how he could handle it next time once the glider is fixed. Woo. Well, I didn't feel even an ounce of fatigue while I was flying, but as soon as I got on the train back home, my entire body felt like it was being tortured and mutilated. Well, I can't take the pain. And can I go on doing this? So I checked out how things were going at the secret base during a light run and thought I'd continue on some work I started if I didn't feel too tired. And I'll rest after I'm done here. I'll be alright.
Oh, Aoi-kun da!
And he meets Kanako for some reason. Kanako?
Yahoo! 練習からの帰りかな?
Oh, so he went to do some training, so he was flying on some commercial glider that's owned by the flight school. Yeah?
毎週ご苦労さんだね.
Well, the same thing to you, so I apologize for not taking the time to clean the dorm.
いやいや、葵くんに不自由させて、私たちだけ快適に過ごすなんてできないよ。
That's true. Well, I appreciate your concern.
それじゃ、行こっか。
So Kanako grabbed my arm. Wait, we?
行くよ。
So let's go. To where? So perhaps Kanako wants to see our secret base as much as Hotaru does. So the shopping district. You see,
グライダー作りもいいけど、たまには息抜きも必要だよ。
So you know, it's time to get some break.
ということで、おごるからお茶しよ
う。Well, wow. So just because she's buying me some coffee doesn't mean she's impressed me or anything. Well, I've gone and created an awkward situation for myself. Next thing you know, I'm sitting in the food court with her at the same table. Well, we get ice cream for two.
さすがにカフェフラッグスは無理だしね。
Well, it's not a cheap cafe, I understand. So obviously, it would be so popular that people want to know why it costs so much for their entrees.
いやいや、値段の方じゃなくてですね。
So she suddenly stared into my sullen eyes. Wait, so what is it?
私が一丁悪いよね。
Well, I'm not sure what you mean.
私じゃないこと行きたいなーって決めてる相手いるんでしょ？
Well, not really. I'm not even thinking of what you're thinking right now or saying right now.
そっか、別なこと考えてたんだね。あ、かなこさんが普通の服着てるって下着じゃないぞって。
Well, by the way, so do you appreciate that I'm not wearing just my underwear? Well, nothing of the sort. Don't talk about that sort of stuff in a place like this.
その服の下にはあの姿が、あんな体が、ドキドキ、ムラムラ。
Well, I don't think I would cares about any of that stuff. Well, excuse me?
しないの？
So it's not true? No, not true. Well, okay, maybe they are a little, but she'll never know. So it's just really hard because my heart races when she talks like this. And that's why I'm on edge. So what do you consider me as?
男の子だと思ってるよ。男の子ってみんなそういうものなんじゃないの？
So isn't that true for everyone? Well, generally speaking, boys, well, including myself, she get a little excited when we see a girl like we like.
ムラムラは？
And it's hard for Iowa to answer that response, that question. So if you are going to leave me, I'll just make my way back home now. I've got a lot of errands to run.
ごめんごめん、怒らせるつもりじゃなくてね。
No, I'm sorry, I'm
ちょ
sorry.
っとしたサービスだったんだけど。
So Kanako placed her elbows on the desk. And just as she was leaning forward, I could see her chest swelling up in front of me. I couldn't help but watch her cleavage jiggle back and forth. And what's with this about being an assistant or giving assistance? Well, I didn't see anything, so I'm not looking. So Kanako laughed as the wind blew past us. And there's no way I can get out of a conversation with her while we are both here.
でさ、聞いたよ。
So what is it?
望月先輩、元井天音先生。あれ、まあともかく、あの人に抱きついてたんだって。
So I did hear that you were calling teacher Mochizuki Amane senpai instead of Mochizuki sensei. Doesn't that mean that you're close? Well, I think it's more like a mistake, or he's just used to it. Oh, so you got that wrong. Well, so we're not lovers or anything. I just say that we ever do anything like that, it's inconceivable.
後で、アゲハちゃんに謝っておきなよ。
Well, then you have to apologize to her. Well, where does she even come up in all of this? So what does Amane have to do with all this conversation?
いやー、望月先輩ってのが意外でさ。これは大穴かなってみんな言っててね。
I like who? Like who?
第1回水瀬葵獲得カップ馬券ならぬ人権発売中。今のところ本命と対抗馬と穴と大穴がいてね。
Well, we've got to take a look at how strict the dorm rules are.
大丈夫だよ。お金はかけてないから。
So, absolutely.
お気に入りのパンツをかけてるんだけどね。
Well, that's worse. So I don't want that.
じゃあ誰が本命？はっきりさせないといつまでも言われるよ。
Well, I tried to pick who would be the sure thing. But for some strange reason, I wasn't able to form the words with my mouth. And Kanako began to break into a smile.
葵くんには本当に感謝してるんだよ。
But be glad, so we're very glad that you helped us a lot. Well, I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do.
いやいや、仕事のことだけじゃなくて、葵くんが男の子だったから助かってる。
Really?
これで新しい寮母の人が女の人だったら、同学年とか同じ学校の女子だったら、まあ青春の大事な時間を女を捨てて過ごして取り返しのつかないことになってたかなって。
Well, I kind of understand what you mean since I went to a boys' school before. And without a woman to keep them tame, men are just dogs, filthy, disgusting, and rebellious. Well, I'm not sure what was the point, because the big problem at first was that how come the mom would assign her son Aoi to be the dorm mother for a dormitory that's meant for girls? Well, even I can't claim to be any different. So girls are the same, being stuck in a single-sex school is the worst. And if I were a flying fish, I would...
気楽じゃあるんだけどね。女だけってのはすごく。
I know.
でもやっぱりそういうのないと人としてどうよって感じになっちゃうもんで。だから葵くんが来てくれて本当に良かったって心から思ってるんだよ。
But I'm no one important. I'm just be myself.
こういう機会でもないと言えなかったからね。今だけ、ここだけの話だよ。
I see.
で、ここだけついでにどうよ。葵くんとしては丸1年女の子だらけの場所で暮らしてみて。
Well, I'm sure that's what it is currently. Well, that's a bad idea. Well, at first I was feeling tension in my chest, but I suddenly got used to it. And it's actually gotten a lot easier to find used underwear left in the laundry machine that girls end up throwing away. And when you are with a bunch of guys all day, you begin to forget what it feels like to hold the opposite sex in your arms. And yes, I definitely can't say that.
なんか失礼なこと考えてるね。
Well, I can tell that you have a very perverted mind, just like what... Well, I'm not sure if Kanako heard the story from Ageha or Hotaru.
いいんだよ。こっちも男の子について分かったことがいろいろあるからね。そう。例えば、葵くんが寝ているとき、あれがあんなになるなんて、これが意外に。
So, what are you talking about?
寝相の話だけど、なんだと思った？
She knows what she's doing. And I gotta stop while I'm ahead or I'll play right into her trap.
ねえ、なんだと思ったの？それとも後で夜にでも二人っきりでじっくりお話ししよっか。
Well, I'll pass. I actually said it while keeping my composure this time.
本命に悪いかな？
So is it really bad? Well, that's I was speechless. In the moment she said the word sure thing, I couldn't help but think of someone in particular. So who's that person? So once that image popped into my head, I was so ashamed of myself that I felt like dying. I wanted that image out of my head. Well, throughout it all, I couldn't process what was going on at all. And the whole time Kanako was eating this all up, watching me with a cheesy grin smeared across her face.
いやー、いいもん見せてもらいました。
Well, that reaction is quite interesting. Well, why the heck do you get all off on someone else's struggles? And it looks like someone's phone's ringing. Oh, sorry, I got a message. And it's from Ageha.
アゲハちゃんかな。
Wait, so okay, so Kanako's like, it must be from Ageha.
やっぱりね。
So they called the god, right?
いやいや、そんな上等なもんじゃなくて。それよりメール見ないでいいの？
Okay, so excuse me?
秘密基地に来てるよ。作業かなりはかどった。葵はそろそろ戻りかな。今日どうだった？こっち来るなら待ってるよ。
So with such a carefree letter, I felt strangely relieved. Oh, I'm sorry, so Ageha and everyone is waiting for me, so I gotta get over there.
ありゃ残念。それじゃあアゲハちゃんに謝っておいてね。
And what am I apologizing for? So you're not making sense.
そりゃ葵くんとの大事な時間を横取りしちゃったからね。
Well, not really. I'm fine.
そう？それならもうちょっと葵くんを裸にしてみたいけどな。
Well, that's not in any weird sense, right?
ないよ。ないですとも。多
No.
分少しも全然ないよ。
Well, not even a smidgen, right?
ないって信じてよ。でも葵くんが望むならいつでもこちらは。
Well, thanks for the trouble. I've got to get going.
ありゃ、気の早い子って。これは私から逃げたかったってだけじゃないね。葵くん、自分の気持ちにはさっさと気づいた方が人生楽しく生きられるよ。
Okay, so I don't know what Kanako was talking about to Aoi, but thankfully I was able to cut the conversation short. It's like, well, I've got to go meet the other people. They are waiting for me. So I'm a bit confused as to what just happened. There you go. But I can't let that distract me. Well, just got to run straight there. So we've already got food at the event. And the sky's still bright. It's not like I'm holding anyone up. And if I hurry things up, I can help out when I get over to the runway.
Oh, 来たね。
Okay, so you made it. Wait, Ageha? So I was too out of breath to ask her why she was here.
いやー、なんかそろそろ来そうだなって思ってさ。
So I think she did ask Aoi where he was, and it's like, okay, so based on my estimate, this is the time he should be here. Well, I'm here, so.
そんなに急がなくてもよかったのに。
Well, I wanted to get here as fast as I could.
ともあれ、お疲れ。今日はどうだった？
Well, things went alright. I was able to get in a few more hours of independent training than usual.
そっか、よかった。飛ぶには葵が頼りだからね。
Well, thanks. So you can depend on me for this one. What about you? Or how about
おー、バッチしよ
you? Oh, nice job. So, but you've been doing this for a while now, haven't you?
うん。試験もあるから作業は本当にギリギリ。夏休み後半で完成できるかどうかってとこだね。
So I wonder what Ageha has been doing outside of just fixing the glider and the such.
うん、よくない。何か考えないとね。
So here we are talking about how working conditions suck, but we're talking about it so calmly.
どうしたの？とりあえず中入ろう。
But anyways, let's go inside. So how kind is she to give me a chance to catch my breath before we go inside? Hello. So everyone was lined up waiting for the two of us. But there was something a little bit off. So I don't think they're happy.
本当だ。でしょ?
So they were staring right at me and whispering just out of earshot.
すごいですね。
So what exactly?
いや、別に。
Well, what is it?
はい、タオル。
So she threw a towel my way. Oh, thanks.
飲み物はいる?
I'm good. 'Cause I was out drinking water with Kanako just a moment ago. So something's been getting at me, Ageha. So what's with everyone acting all weird all of a sudden?
あれ、そうなの?
Really? I think it's normal. So did something happen before I got here?
別に仲良く作業してただけだよ。
No, we're just working. I wonder what it could have been. So the dock was filled to the brim with resources that weren't there before. And there were pipes, tools laying around what appeared to be a construction site. So all the parts have arrived and they have enough parts to start working.
あんちゃんが届けてくれてさ。
And all the tools. Okay then. So you placed the scaffolding around the site and built wings for the plane. And wings you see aren't exactly flat, and they're not single-layered either. It's an incredibly complex process to make a wing, and we need to calculate every step perfectly to build the right ones. So make sure the angle's correct, make sure that there's enough layers, exactly the right amount, and the curvature is correct too. And they need to make sure they cure it correctly so that maximum strength is achieved. So Amane actually wrote up a schematic for us. We'll be using that to build the wing, but whether or not we'll be successful is another issue altogether. So the real test of my worth to this group was about to begin. Okay, alright. So after letting in a little bit of energy, I thrusted one hand into the other. So I got this. So let's go. With everyone's energy, we'll be building this plane and flying in no time.
あ、でもごめん。明日からまたしばらく顔出せなくなるから。
Why?
いろいろいりそうだからさ。飛び岡にバレないように調達してこないと。
So I'm still trying to not let Toya Sensei figure out what we're doing, so I'm gonna have to step out for a bit. Okay, so let's take care of that for you.
いや、私個人のコネだし、葵やみんなにはそれぞれのやることをやってほしいからさ。
So I've got some helpers and I have to stay in contact with them. But even if that's the case, we can't get anything done without you, so we need to have you here.
情けないこと言わない。大丈夫。葵ならできるよ。
Listen, we've only got one shot at this. We've got no room for failure, and that's why I'm asking you.
それなら私だって同じだよ。
I know.
その覚悟でやるって決めたんでしょ?
Well, yeah, but still.
もちろん、私もできる限りは来るようにするからさ。
Well, I'm sorry, but I have to ask you to do this. But please, if we're really going to make this thing, we need you or we won't succeed.
人を乗せるのが上手になったね。
So I headed back to the dorm. I wonder whether or not what she said made any sense. I meant to manipulate gliders, not people. So I think Ageha's more worried about, well, I don't want Tomioka-sensei to find out about this. And even if I'm not here, that doesn't mean you guys and girls can't build the glider. So you guys and girls should be good with working with FRPs, and you should be able to build it without my supervision. And today didn't seem like a day Ageha would be out early to train at the dock. And plus, I made breakfast for everyone just in time before everyone woke up.
Ohayo!
And Kanako? So I get a weird feeling that I'm screwing everything up when I see her.
昨日の話した?
Well, I had to tell someone. Yeah, it is. I feel safe in the room.
そうだね。それなら安心かな。釈明の方、頑張ってね。
Rationalization? I learned what this word meant after I registered it for high school. So what's going on now? I apologize for the inconvenience, but could you please give me a little more time to prepare the room?
それはいいのよ。
So I think they went to get permission from the student council to be able to share the club room for the touring club. So our car set up straight and faced me head on.
水瀬くん、このところあちらこちらで浮き名を流しているそうですね。
Oh, so it's more like, I do hear that you are getting into other people's affairs. Wait, right?
ネタは上がってんだぞ。
And we have evidence. Wait, what exactly do you have?
かなこさん、いえ、しぐれさんとデートしていたそうね。
So you were dating with Shigure-san at some point. No, you got that mixed up. That's not how it really went down at all.
仲良く一つのアイスを分け合っていたと聞き及んでいますが。
But why the ice cream? Well, it's just like a meetup.
関節キスだー、羨ましい。俺なんかあかりさんとまだそこまでは。
その前までなら進んでいるような言い方はやめなさい。
相変わらず鋭くすれない。そこがいい。
So I don't know if I always shared the same ice cream with Kanako, or they had their own bowls. Wait, so who's the one spreading rumors about this? So I didn't do anything. I was just talking with her, and she invited me.
複数の目撃談、情報源からよ。写真もあるけど、見る？
So I have photographic evidence. No thanks. It makes sense, particularly everyone around us was watching. But I was only there because Kanako asked me to join her there. There you go.
言い訳するなよ。素直に自慢すればいいだろうが。
あなたは黙っていなさい。
はい。
So they seem happy just to have a chance to scold me. Well, have I really submitted myself to this much torture?
では、望月先輩、もとい、望月先生のことはどう説明しますか？
Wait, what?
廊下で抱き合っていたそうですね。校内風紀の面からも、お互いの立場からも、見過ごすわけにはいかないことですが。
I really just think you're confused as to what it really was. So there's nothing I can say to have us seeing eye to eye. Well, how annoying having to explain to these people what I did so I don't attract Tomioka Sensei's attention to our group.
なるほど。
So can we just let this go then?
あなたの主張は理解しました。
Well, they don't believe me.
まあ、かなこさんにしろ望月先生にしろ、ああいう人ですから、そんなところだとは思っていましたが。あなたの方にも誤解されて仕方のない面があるということも理解しておいた方がいいでしょうね。
Wait, so do you mean that there's no chance of me being fully understood?
自覚していないのですか？
Well?
チェ、まったく、これだからモテモテ野郎は。でもいいもんね。俺にはあかりさんがいるんだから。
いません。
そういうこと言わないで。
ともあれ、もう少しばかり振る舞いには気をつけた方がいいでしょう。
But just be careful because you don't know who's spying on you or watching you.
誰とは言いませんが、あなたの不祥事を待ち受け、ことさらに言い立てて問題に仕立て上げる人がいないとは限りません。
Understood. Well, I think I said what I think I need to say. My face felt soft from the weak muscles in my face.
ふらふらしているのも悪いんじゃないの？はっきりと表明してしまえば、少なくとも変な噂はなくなるでしょうに。
So you need an explanation?
そうだぞ。俺なんかあかりさん一筋だから、いくら女の子と喋っていても誤解どころか記憶さえされない。
Is that really something to be proud of?
まったく、さっさと決めちまえっての。アゲハだってまんざらでもないんだからさ。
So what do you mean? I suddenly turned pure white. Wait, hold on a sec. So what's that name doing over there?
アホか。他に誰がいるってんだよ。
Hold on. I'm trying to get situated.
どこからどう見てもなのにな。ですよね、あかりさん。
So since we're friends and everything, but just friends, you got it, so nothing more. So his response was so condescending. So what do you want?
別に。
あら、そうなの？それにしては優秀なセンサーを持っているそうだけど。
Wait, a sensor?
相手の居場所が確実にわかると聞いたわよ。誰にも聞こえていなかった姫木さんの足音を真っ先に聞きつけたとか。
Okay. So so I think the card mentioned about Ageha being lurking around. So let's see here.
誰にも聞こえていなかった姫木さんの足音を真っ先に聞きつけたとか。
Yeah, so you gotta be careful. You may have some like Himeki-san around.
姫木さんも屋内にいたのに、あなたが来るのを感じ取って迎えに出たとか。
So I guess it could work in theory. Well, nice, I guess. So that's a strange face again. The atmosphere is not the same as it was a few days ago. But before all that technology, we learned about each person's patterns and would meet based on the schedule they had produced for themselves.
そうかもしれないわね。でも違うかもしれないわよ。
だよな。それなら俺だって葵のことよく知ってるし。
But for me, I already know who you are, Aoi.
でも葵はさ、俺とあかりさんのこと全然応援してくれないし。
それは別の話です。
But it's not as though this whole thing just started either. Ageha and I may or may not have a thing for each other, but we see each other occasionally.
息が合うならそういうことなのでしょう。別に私は男女交際を禁止するつもりはありませんよ。
やった。
もちろん同行していると判断した場合は当人同士がどうあろうとそれなりの対処をさせていただきますけどね。
ひどい。
So we stared, ignoring Masasugu's calls for attention.
では
Well then... So after Masasugu... So card Masasugu vanished as it got prepared.
よ、色男。今度は会長さんにまで手出すかこいつ。
Okay, so class time. So dumbfounded, I looked around to see where Masasugu had gone. And Akari and the others too, we should recognize them for their hard work.
ございます。
Okay, so once again, we still have Hotaru greeting Aoi.
やー、ホタルちゃん、今日もかわいい。ほんとブニブニだ。いつも思うけど、アゲハの妹とは思えない可憐さだね。
So Hotaru is extremely popular with the others in the dorm. She comes every morning, so she's become a familiar face. Well, even more than a familiar face if she gets this kind of treatment.
ホタルちゃん、うちの子にならない？そうだよ、アゲハちゃん一緒でもいいよ。お姉さんたちが毎晩可愛がってあげる。アオニ、怖い。
Well, they're scaring me, Aoni. Hey, so everyone understands your feelings, so it's okay.
わかる？
Hotaru, you're cute, so it would be impossible.
かわいい。ああ、葵くん、ホタルちゃん口説くんだ。ずるいぞ。
Hey, I'm not flirting. I'm just saying hi to Hotaru and just commenting about her.
口説いてないの？
I'm not. So with a look of dissatisfaction, she pouts a little. Well, prettily, she continues pouting. Oh, I'm sorry. So they just looked so soft I couldn't help myself.
おー、ずるい。私もやる。
So from all directions, fingers stretch out and start poking and pouting Hotaru's cheeks.
アオニ、助けて。
So help me, Aoni. Hey, girls, so hurry up and eat your breakfast. We'll be late.
おはよう。
Hello.
おはようございます。あ、おはよう。
So Kotori's eyes begin looking over Hotaru's shoulders.
あーちゃんなら先にお出かけしました。また？本当何やってるのかしら。
So I wonder why.
あなた聞いてない？
Well, Hotaru shakes her head. Oh, so Hotaru doesn't know, huh? Well, seriously, what is she as an Ageha doing? Well, she could at least tell us. So everyone finishes breakfast, cleans their plates, and heads to school. Okay, so this looks like a good place to stop for this episode. So I'm not sure what's really going on. And I feel like the meeting with Amane in episode 2 and the meeting with Kanako is somehow set up. And I have a strong feeling that it has to be Ageha who's doing it. So when Ageha mentions that, well, I'm not going to be here. You two, or you go alone. I think she was trying to get other people to go or make their advance at Aoi. And then Ageha from behind takes pictures and starts throwing all this gossip media out for the school to know. And I wonder what's the intent of this. Because I'm sure that's going way too far if it's just only to distract Toriyuki Sensei and prevent him from figuring out that the soaring club is up and running. And I wonder if the touring club idea worked at the end. So did the touring club lend part of their club room to the soaring club? But anyways, hopefully we can start to see more details about what Ageha's doing and why she is trying to hide. So she leaves early and does not answer any messages from Aoi, Kotori, and the others. And with that in mind, I'll see you in the next episode.